Yeah, my da was goody to the guys and the goddesses, and was popping to the people. Nayaru Teda, Nayamo Teda. Let's get it. Okay, well, I know I'm late, so I can't expect much. I'll give y'all a couple minutes to realize that I'm just not getting myself together. I was trying to get everything. What took me so long is I told y'all I was going to have a setup today. So I was just trying to get everything set up, and I ran out of time. I pushed the issue because I thought I was going to be able to get it up in time. I told you I got a super slick background that I made, and I'm trying to get it up so we can stop looking at this. But whatever. Past that point, I'm just going to send out a few notifications, give it a couple minutes because I'm late. But it's a powerful one tonight, family. Tonight is going to be heavy. So, where's my phone at? What's it called? Okay. Come on in, hit the like, hit the share, and let's get to it. Hit the like, hit the share, and let's get to it. It's going to be fire tonight. It's going to be fire. Like I said, I'm just going to send out. Or should I turn the book on? That'd be too much work. I mean, not too much work, but I could. I very well could. Misinformation Nation / YouTube. Make that happen, family. Hold on, tap in now, family. We're live, baby. All right. Now, where the music at? I need some theme music. So, all right. I gotta play my song first. Sex is the epitome of connection and acceptance. All I ever wanted was the things that I never had. All I ever wanted was the things that I never had. You know what? All I ever wanted was gluttony. We used to be emotionally starving. I was only hold on, I'm looking for something for y'all. What's Yahoo, peace, queen. Yahoo, my. Uh, I'm trying to alert the masses that we is here because I'm late, and black folks always late, but don't like it when you late. So you know how that go. You know how that go. But I know one thing. I'm sleepy, so if y'all play with me, I'll take a nap around here. I will take a nap around this jack. Okay. Back to the music. See, y'all got me sidetracked. Back to the music.
Of those who survived now get only a fraction.
Laziness is really fear. We can't bear to get down to our work because if we were to apply ourselves, we risk terrifying humiliation.
It's the metaphysical, lyrically analytical. Every rhyme is spiritual. Hooks, lines, and principles. Bars is critical, so you better stay tuned. The brown werewolf hollering at the red moon. Mystical magic, fresh about the cocoon. Nine ether everlasting is so true. Need I remind you that we are what the time do. Throughout the galaxy and everybody know it too. Extraterrestrial.
Come on in, family. Hit the like, hit the share.
The exceptional, so they make correctionals.
Hit the like, hit the share. So now, this is what we gonna do. I did a couple of these where and it's always like, and it's the crazy part, like it's always hit or miss when I lock in on the queens. Sometimes y'all come hear it, sometimes y'all don't want to hear it. But it's always something that triggered me. I don't just be like, you know what, it's time to go in on the queens. It's usually an event, something happened that triggers me and lets me know it's time to have a conversation. Now, it's been a lot lately. Yahoo. It's been a lot lately, but I just think I'm getting into this year breaking things down a little bit more. So as opposed to just saying and stating things, we're gonna, let's say, come with receipts. We're gonna bag up everything we say this year. So most of the time, I'm talking about the Kings 90% of the time. So I have to specify when it's for the Queens because most of the time I'm talking about the Kings. So now, the title is interesting, to say the very least. And I wish I could have, well, never mind. The title is interesting to say the least because I'm trying to get some heat around this job. It says matriarchal. Oh, what it said? The manipulation, the manipulated matriarchal matrix. I kind of like that. Yeah, like, what is this Negro talking about? The manipulated matriarchal matrix. So now, let's deal with it. Before we deal with anything else, let's just deal with that. Well, we'll start with, let's go backwards first. And you got the matrix. We know the matrix is the illusionary existence. It's an illusionary existence. And so, matriarchal, that is when a system that runs through the predominantly women, a woman-dominated system is a matriarchy. So when the feminine when the femininity dominate a system, when the women aspect dominate a system, that's when it's called a matriarchal. Like now, it's quote unquote a man's world. Men are in power in the highest levels. So this is a patriarchy. So now a matriarchy would be the exact opposite. Now, so we have an illusionary female dominated system, and the first word is manipulated. So now let's start the manipulated matriarchal matrix. So the manipulated all powerful woman system is an illusion. See, what you're getting right now is, and they and y'all won't believe me until I break this thing down to y'all, but I always tell y'all, you will get more truth from movies than you will from people in fancy suits standing right in front of you swearing to God they're being honest. Most of the time, that's a lie. But we have to understand, and I say this all the time, that thing that we call karma. So people say, I seen somebody say, there's no somebody said there's no such thing as karma. Because if there was karma, how come the bad guys always win and the people in control, they don't have no karma? Look at what they be doing. So, well, let's look at that. It's not that they don't have karma. It's that they know how to manipulate karma. Karma is a system just like anything. Once a system can be learned, it can be perfected, and then you can find the creases in it. So now, this system of karma means if I do something horrible or something bad or something unjust, then something unjust is bound to come back around to me. But what if I could convince the universe that I didn't do something unjust? Like, what I mean is, if I say, can I slap the shit out of you? And you say yes, and then I slap the shit out of you, what did I do wrong? I requested it, you consented, so it happened. Now, after it happened, you could deduct, you hit me too hard, that's not fair, you're a horrible person, and all of that could be true. But the reality is, I told you what I was going to do, and you accepted it. So now let's put that on a larger scale. They tell us what they're going to do to us, and we accept it. So then, where's the karma in that? So now, that's what you deal with this whole karma thing on this planet. So now, let's get back to the point. They've been setting this up to make things look a certain way for thousands of years. And so we're into a habit of viewing things a certain way. And that's intentional. So now this is this illusion that we're talking about. Now, when you have a society that you say is male dominated, but when you look around, they're pushing all feminine energy. So now, let's look at the movies. Tomb Raider was the first time you seen a female completely hold her own in that form of an action movie. This is the same type of special effects, kick butt, flips, kicks. This is what you would normally see the tough white guy in. And so they bring you Laura Craft, Tomb Raider. They put her in the video game first. Then the video game did so well, and they get Angelina Jolie to play the movie. So now, this is the beginning of after you see that, you see Ultraviolet, you see Underworld, you see just back to back, you start seeing the women heroes without the male lead. Now you had a strong female lead that'll come in and kick some butt, but a male had to carry her. So now our people, we'll put it this way. They played with it already in the 70s, of course, with Wonder Woman. And on our end, we did it with Foxy Brown. But now, this is a different kind of thing because you have to keep up. I mean, Foxy Brown, she throw a punch, throw a kick, and pull out her gun. Don't move, sucker. I mean, it was cutting edge for that era. But now we talking about you got to run, spin, jump in car, you got to shoot. And now it's all of this different fighting styles out that the guys got. So now you got the women doing UFC moves and take. So it's a bit more going on as an action hero. So now they move women into this space. Now there's a purpose for this because it's a shift about to happen. And we can fast forward and we see exactly what happened. But you have to see how they pushed all these agendas through cinema. And what the overall plan is, this is psychology. If you and I, if two people are sharing a seat, and one of them is way bigger than the other. So the big guy sit down first. If the big guy sit down first, and these two guys have to share a seat, the only spot the little guy can sit in is whatever is left over. So it is human instinct to do one thing, which is take your own personal space that you desire. And then the next thing is going to happen is whoever else is left is forced to take whatever's left. So now let's put that into a societal aspect. If you are a woman and throughout the ages, you're seeing men get more feminine, then instinctually you will see women become more masculine because the balance is required. So a woman's femininity is balanced properly with a certain amount of masculinity. And if she doesn't have that, then she unconsciously will veer in one direction or the other. And the same with the man. So now, as you see a society that's pushing and promoting how being emotional and sensitive as a man is better. And so as the men become on a societal level, you seeing, and this is not judgment, this is just, it is what it is. You are seeing a rise in the LGBTQ community, a rise in transgenderism, and a rise in homosexuality, all of these different things. So what that's doing, despite of whatever reason is happening, what it's doing is it's creating less and less masculine men. As that movement expands, that's the men that are becoming involved in that. It's the men transgender. So now you are having a lot less masculinity circulating amongst men. So by nature, instinctually, to make up for the lacking masculinity in circulation, instinctually, by the laws of nature, women will become more masculine. Nothing has to happen. Nobody has to say anything. It's nature. It's natural assessment. It's nature. So as everything carries an energy, and this is the part we don't understand. So on this planet, the energy is shifting to where the masculine energy on this planet is becoming more effeminized. So the planet is going to compensate for that. So then you're going to see a shift in the feminine energy is going to become more masculine to make up for the missing masculinity. And so now when you look at society, you can see what I'm saying on a scientific level. You can see it play out on a physical level. You see as the men put on dresses, the women are becoming more gangster. Look at our society. Who are the hottest rappers? It's never in 50 years of hip hop, it's never been this many females at the top swinging like this. It's never happened. And that, some people will say, well, what's wrong with that? Overall, you would like to say nothing. Hey, the queens is getting their chance. But then we have to look at what's come of this. As the women rise in hip hop and get more of the spotlight, what is the subject matter? And so when you hear one of the clear indications that we're in trouble, when you hear the women saying, F my baby daddy, on Father's Day, I'm the father and the mother. Shouts out to me on Father's Day because see, when you hear that, it shows you that something has happened. And like, we don't even understand how detrimental something like that is. When you understand, and y'all hear me say this all the time, there are no more husbands and wives. It's baby mamas and baby daddies. That's a safe space. And everybody's looking for one. We're all looking for a safe space. What we really want is not to be hurt anymore. What we mask it under is all kind of tough. I have the right to behave this way. But realistically, everybody hurt and don't want to be hurt anymore. So we lash out behaviorally. But now, where's this coming from? This is the part that we need to understand. There's always been a plan put in place for you. And that's what I can't stress to our people enough, is that there's always been a plan put in place for us. We have a tendency to look at things under this normal day-to-day lens, and we have accepted that this is just the way it is. But when I say there's no more husband and wives, only baby mamas and baby daddies, excuse me, that's the equivalent of when females be posting these niggas is for everybody, and then men be posting these hoes ain't loyal. See, husbands and wives don't look at each other like that. Baby mamas and baby daddies do, because what that's saying is there's nothing there in the first place but the child. So then why did we make the child? And that's a whole nother thing that we don't have to get into. But what I'm saying is, how did we go from understanding that we only had each other to understanding that we barely can stand each other? We barely want to be around each other. If we're not fucking, we'd rather not be together. If it's not sexual, if it's not something beneficial, if it's not financial, I'd rather just not be dealing with. How did we get there? And see, the problem is this right here. We're about to get tricked like never before. And it's so far, it's going to be hard to even recover, because we don't. At this point, I would have hoped to see us a little bit further along. So now, I told you I'm sleeping. I'm hitting on y'all. So now, here's the thing though. If put it to you this way, there had to be a shift in something. How did we change the way that we view each other? See, it's the same people, because people be saying it was different in the 90s. Well, let's just examine that. It was different in the 90s. The 90s was 30 years ago. Now, I remember it was love songs. Late 80s, early 90s. Men were singing to women, and women were singing to men to fall in love, to find someone special amongst all the BS and fall in love and have a. That's what everybody was seeking. Late 80s, early 90s. That's what everybody was seeking. How did that change to the point where now it's just give me some head and I just want your money, and so now the behavior of the women has become exactly that of the men. So the things that the women used to complain about men doing, now they do it. And now they make fun of. So like now, if a man get his feelings caught up too soon, let's say a woman have sex with a man, and then a lot of times if he call her the next day, he is considered gone off of her, he a simp, and she probably don't speak to him again. Now, that's what women used to fear men would do. They used to fear that men would actually, so women used to make men wait for sex, because like, and women used to actually say, once I give you some, you gonna change or you ain't gonna call me. So that was a dynamic that women feared and stressed that. So it was difficult, or more difficult, to get women to say, hey, let's have sex, because of the dynamic of having sex, then leaving, or having sex, then never speaking to you again. So it's only been 30 years. It's only been 30 years, 25 to 30 years. So in 30 years, how do we get to a space where now, after sex, women prefer not to be touched, called, cuddled, or none, any of that? And if the man does, he's looked at as soft. In just 30 years, how does you're looking at a complete societal 180 amongst us in only 30 years? How does that happen? And now, in that 30 years, the switch is the men have become more feminine and the women have become more masculine. And now, it is commonplace for a woman to say, I don't need a man. I don't need it. After that nigga, what he gonna do for me? If he ain't doing this for me, or if he ain't breaking bread for me, after that nigga. How did our women in just 30 years, because let's examine before the 30 years. So before that 30-year time period, the black woman was glued to the black man through hell and hot water. And so we can start with, for the sake of this discussion, we can start with the entrance into the country. For 250 years during slavery, you made it through 250 years of slavery, enduring all kind of madness from the white and the black man. Came out of that. Then you had another 150 years of oppression, segregation, and emotion, and you made it through that. And then 30 years before that's up, you do a complete 180 in personality. Think about that. Think about that. So you was oppressed for 400 years. 400 years in this country. You made it 370 years enduring all kind of madness from both the black and the white man. What happened that last 30 years that made you become a completely different person? But here's the catch. The person that you've become in that last 30 years out of 370 years, that last 30 years, what you've become now is being promoted by everyone. But when you look at the results it has on your people, is that what happened in the last 180? Is that shift? How has that advanced you for and on behalf and with your people? How did the last 30 years advance? And so now, what we have to understand is it's a system. And that's what I always have to harp, that this is a system. And until you understand how it works and what exactly it is, then this doesn't make sense. So now, if it's a system has a purpose. and it has a functionality. It works a certain way, and there's a purpose. Okay, so now when you look at let's go back to the movies. Watch your evolution movie wise, and you'll notice one thing. They never watch your entire evolution, and they never gave you credit for who you were unless you were damn near naked. It's the only time you're paid the proper attention. And so that was used to do something I don't even think you understand, because historically, you've always had the most beautiful figure in the history of this planet. And so they convinced you that the only time you're really relevant is when you show it. And so for decades and decades and decades, you've been repeatedly ignored until you're willing to get naked or close to it or something in that fashion. And then instantly, mysteriously, somehow you get taken serious all of a sudden. And now, and you have to deal with it with your man too. But there's a twist. They had to first convince us of what beauty is. They gave us a prototype. Remember, we are raised on 100 years of television. And before that, advertising and posters and advertisements. And it has always on this planet glorified the white woman. And so the only example of womanhood historically you've ever had is the white woman. Now, you can point to any sister you want that you can pull out the archives, and if it ain't one of the three that I'm thinking of, I'm gonna show you something about her. So now, we all know Foxy Brown was the model standard for the black woman, but the only thing really black about Foxy Brown in that aspect was the afro and the jive turkey, the lingo. But Foxy Brown gave you basically the thin white woman physique, the behavior, the standard for beauty was pushed to you via commercials, movies, soap operas, all of these things. The white woman, long flowing hair, green or hazel eyes, all of these different things. And then you can watch sisters put weave in their hair and get contacts. See, once you go get fake hair, attach it to yours to make it longer, and you tell yourself you're just doing it for fashion. No, you're just doing it because you have short, kinky hair And instead of us forcing the world to understand it, the world forced us to understand it was inadequate. And so we did everything to hide our nappy hair. What the black man do? We go pound a bunch of grease in our hair and brush our scalp retarded until it waves up. And we get back in the days we used to get perms and fried dyed and laid to the side, and we get kits in our hair. All of this thing is to mimic white America, but the reason why is because there's a standard set, and the powers that be on the societal level know how to shun the different. See, they start you out in the cartoons. Y'all remember the ugly duckling? The ugly duckling was the little brown duck. See, this is racism being implanted at an early age. The ugly duckling was the little brown duck or the little black duck, depending on which cartoon you was watching. So this is the ugly duckling syndrome, where you were taught from the plantation moving forward that your kinky hair was nappy and it was inappropriate. So when you had to stand next to the white woman with the long flowing hair, it was a feeling there that was implemented for hundreds of years. And so now, moving into a world where it's time for you to start entering the job market, certain things start happening unconsciously for you to feel comfortable and feel like you were able to compete. So now comes straightening comb the hair and put the weave on top, and now you got long flowing hair. Now when you walk into the workplace, you don't have to worry about that because you don't feel that thing where they're just looking at you trying to figure you out. You fit in now. And then you get your paycheck, you go get the nails, and then you get the contacts, and now this is you're acceptable now. And you're calling it fashion and beauty because it is, but on a subconscious level, the desire is not to feel inadequate. And so now this is it's a dangerous space because you're no longer you. But nothing has really changed in your life. So there's no way that you can understand from the moment where you start this practice, this ceremony, everything's going to change from you on a psychological level. Because on a psychological level, you've come to terms with whatever your version of black is just not good enough to make you feel good when you're out in the world every day. So once that starts, you're going to have to keep making adjustments. As you see society steady adjusting, then you have to adjust to keep up with that. So you have to keep chasing that feeling of not wanting to feel inadequate or regular or not with it or whatever the case may be, not wanting to fit in. So now you'll see these hair colors change, and then you'll see black women go blind, not understanding that it's like the ultimate disrespect to who you are. See, everything is about your melanin. Lack of color is melanin deficient. So when you see colored eyes, that's recessive. That means that's like a defect. Now, I can't lie. When I was younger, I used to think that, oh, she got beautiful eyes, you know. But once you get scientifically sound, you understand, yeah, that may look attractive, but that's a defect. Light colored eyes is the lighter the color, the more melanin deficient you are. It's a defect. So once we understand these things, like you see them come in from the sun, whole scalp be red, chest, face, and all that be red. See, that could never happen to you. And that's why you got that nappy hair up top to protect you from the sun follicles and also to draw in intellect. You get intelligence from the sun. So when you got that coarse hair beating out in the sun, the universe is giving you knowledge and information. Well, you can't get that when you got that weave or you got your head balled up under a wig. You're not getting direct connection to the universe. And now you see the lack of advancement amongst the sisters in certain areas. Well, the queen spent the last 100 years with fake hair on her head. Yeah, and anytime uh, color is condensed melanin. So, I mean, when it's all said and done, so that when you lose color, you're losing melanin because if it's pitch black, you're high in melanin. So every color comes from black. Every color is a variation of black. So as you as you lessen the color, you're losing melanin. Now, this is uh, just simple science. So when you see the blonde hair on her sister, and then she got some gray contacts in, and it always be the darkest sisters that be doing this shit. It's like you so disrespecting what the creator did for you. It's crazy, and you're not even doing it on purpose. You don't even know. You need direct contact with the sun, and especially this summer, because in a minute, well, they're doing everything they can to stop us from taking in, excuse me, as much sun as possible. So we got to stay connected with the sun. But this is this is so significant because it's being done intentional. You have to look at who's the biggest producers of hair. People who are not of your culture. Now, let's look at the Chinese and the Korean, and from what we know, how intelligent they are. Now, these people are extremely intelligent. So you mean to tell me they don't know what I just broke down to y'all? They don't understand that selling all this weave and wigs to the black woman is stunting her intelligence. You think they don't know that? Why the fuck you think they went into the business of it? Not just to make money. They had money before they found hair weave. They're manufacturing hair weave because it's like if this is war, every time the other side come up with something to keep you in place, that's a big up from everybody on their squad. So it's like by cornering the market and selling weave to the queen and fake hair and wigs, they're doing their part in the mental enslavement of you. Remember, every other race has enslaved us on this planet. There is no race that did not take part in our enslavement at some point. They all are in on it, is what you must understand. And that doesn't mean every single person of every color. I'm talking about governments. People, for the most part, are innocent. If there's bias or prejudice in people, it came from the government that they don't. So I don't really blame people for much. I point things out so we can deal with it. But in the grand scheme of things, all of us are victims from wicked ass systems that convinced us of shit that we shouldn't have been convinced of. So I don't really, my bone to pick ain't really with the people. It's with these governmental systems. So now they know what they're doing, and that's why they're selling it to you and making millions, or they're sending all their kids to college of poisoning you. Because every time the queen put that wig on, especially in the summertime, the worst thing you could do in the summertime is have weave in your hair or a wig. You are literally avoiding the intelligence of the creator that was set out here for you. If we did more sunbathing, our intellect would grow exponentially. And that's a fault of mine because I'm big. I hate being hot, so I hide in the house a lot in the summertime. But I'm getting better at being outdoors because you have to get your feet in that grass and get you some of that sun. Sunlight is also vitamin D. But either way it goes, so now we have to understand from from a war aspect, the queen has been targeted. This ain't no just it's just happening because this is an intentional thing. Now, I have some things that we need to deal with. Hold on, let me get. We're gonna listen.
He can't handle me. Well, many times he makes him go off.
All right.
Breakdown. We've
Wait, I'm trying to get to the beginning, y'all. My fault. Shouldn't take that down.
tried to. He's out all night, turns into a drunk, takes drugs. You know, we've heard a lot of.
It's got to be right here. Wait. My fault. Got to be right here. Here it comes.
The black family abandons his woman and children, won't take care of the children, won't work, stays out all night, turns into a drunk, takes drugs. You know, we've heard a lot of negative things. Most of them are true. But I wanted to find out what happens before he gets to that point. What leads up to the breakdown? We've never gone back to try to find out what happens in the relationship between the black man and a black woman that makes him go off and do all of these bad things. To assume that this is just normal, natural behavior for black men would be to assume that he is naturally bad. And I do not believe that the man that God gave to us as a mate is a naturally bad person. And so I wanted to try to examine what goes on with him. What's his side of the story?
I got this in.
He can't handle me. Well, many times he can't handle us because he doesn't know what it is he's trying to handle. He doesn't understand what motivates us. We have become very adept, many of us, as being able to do something right in front of his eyes and then convince him that that's not what he really saw at all and that it didn't happen.
Listen to little sections, y'all.
You say black women, and I quote you as saying nag, 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 and that we are essentially responsible for pushing our men away by doing so.
A lot of times we take a position because of our own emotional mechanisms. We harass our men too much. We nag our men too much, and we keep his mind and his head so bundled up and bogged down with all of our personal idiosyncrasies about our day-to-day personal relationship with him that a lot of times we don't free his mind up to go out and to plan sanely for our future and for the future of our children. Many of them come to us every day and they almost have to do a wind test. They don't know what's going on. They don't know who they're going to meet because we have a lot of reactions. We tend to think as black women that a successful relationship and one where we're happy is one where everything goes our way. And the first time it goes another kind of a way, then we go into hell, turmoil in our brain, and we start deciding, oh, I've got terrible problems with this man. He won't do what I want him to do. When our men have a side,
Let me give that side according to Scheherazade Ali, okay? You say in your book,
okay, let's get
and I'm quoting you,
Come on.
okay? The black man in America is the only male on earth, including every continent, who is disrespected by the women in his nation.
That's true.
This situation does not exist anyplace else among the billions of people inhabiting our planet except here in America.
That's right.
The other black men, the yellow men, the red men, the brown men, and the white men are all honored and respected by their respective nations. All other women recognize and accept that the man is the authority, the ruler, and the leader. Only here in the United States, in the black nation, scattered throughout the United States, excuse me, rather, is the black man neglected. That's pretty powerful.
All right, let's stop there. Okay, now, she said, I forget her name, but she's very intelligent. Yeah, that's Shazra Ali. It's a Muslim sister. Now, I'm not, y'all know I'm not in the religion, but I think everything has something that you can take from it. But I've been listening to that sister for some years, and she's got a good moralistic foundation, but she's practical. What I like is practicality. She said some powerful stuff, and I just want to deal with it so that it comes across better than it sounds, maybe. Like so there's a dynamic where, okay, a male is a protector and he's also a strategist. So key components in a good man is someone who can provide protection and also can strategize and help formulate ideals and put things together. So this takes a free mind. So when you and your significant other are staying at odds, just keep in mind this same man, that brain is going to be required for strategy and making things happen. So, like, you have to be clear that you're sending your significant other to battle with the proper things that they need to make it happen. So you can't have a man strategize if his mind's jumbled. So it's in a space where we think compromise is some form of weakness. And that goes to what I was saying before. Like she just said, we understand that men are not innocent in this equation, and there's going to be some fuck ups. What we're not doing is getting to the core of what's happening with our significant other before we're getting upset. And see, what's happened is we're in this fuck a nigga mentality. And so this baby daddy mentality, this is not conducive to caring for each other. It's a thought process that's already there. You've already decided we're not going to be a family because you would have never said baby daddy. That wouldn't be in your thought process. So we don't have families no more. So if you don't have families, you're not going to have communities. And it's trickling down. Now, grandma done died with the recipes. Relationships don't require men getting hot meals anymore. But now, how you're not feeding the warrior that you're about to send to war? How you not gladly feeding them? These are all things that in this newer society have not become commonplace. it's more commonplace to meet someone and want to go out to eat. So it's like the mentality is when a woman meet a good man, she's eager. So like y'all meet each other, y'all having a conversation, things flowing, and then he say, I want to take you out to eat. If the woman is attracted to him and the conversation is flowing, 99.9% of the time, she's going to say, sure. What happened to, you're going to take me out to eat? I can cook. I'd rather feed you and save you some money, baby. Where's that woman at? Because this is how you get that man that you're complaining about that doesn't exist anymore. Watch what happens when you suggest to go spend, when he suggests to go spend some money and you suggest to save some. You want to find out where the real men at? Start saying shit like that. You'll find them quicker than you think. It's about what we said before. It's over and under compensation. Over and under compensation. So what that means is this. Men are becoming more effeminized. But look though, here's how it happens. If the woman is so easily offended, then it makes a man bite his tongue, which in turn gives the woman a false sense of security. But a man is not designed that way. What's supposed to happen is you two complement each other. So you can't say, I want a real man, but then you can't handle when a real man says real man things. He might say, no, baby, I don't like that. I don't think you should do that. And then your response is, what you mean? How you going to tell me what I should do? Wait a minute. I thought you said you was just on Facebook last week talking about where the real niggas at. Now you got a real man in front of you, squared up, looking you in your eyes, simply saying, Queen, I ain't feeling that. Instead of you saying, okay, King, I ain't mean to offend you. Tell me what happened. Or tell me why you feel that way. No, your response is, nigga, don't be. And see, so now, remember, it's over and under compensation. So now, once he know that the slightest thing he say could set you off, one or two things gonna happen. Either he gonna lose interest in you or he gonna start lying. So these are the dynamics, and you put yourself in a dangerous space. And when I say start lying, I simply mean, why would I tell you if I know it's going to turn into a battle? So now it could be some things that's really bugging him, that's hindering him from moving y'all forward. But he can't bring it to you because he don't know how you're going to respond. So now, as opposed to him having that freedom of mind to be creative and come up with a solution, he spends more time worried about this thing over here. So this over here never even gets dealt with. Now you from the outside are looking at, oh, this nigga ain't even handling business, not knowing that your aggression is completely controlling the dynamics of the situation. And it's over and under compensation. You at one point didn't have a voice, so to speak. So now that you got one, I'd be damned if I'm gonna let them take it back. See, it's over and under compensation when the things should be balanced. So you say, okay, I was in a relationships where men didn't give me a voice. That doesn't mean my next nigga, I'm gonna make sure I run. No. That just means you have to select better men. See, nobody wants to take accountability for the selection part. The man that you got that you don't want, you chose. So he may be doing a lot of wrong things. But once that happens twice in a row, once you get 2 men in a row to do all the wrong things, that says something about you that you're not paying attention to. Because you shouldn't pick the same guy twice. If the last guy like this didn't work, how'd you end up picking some guy who looks different but behaves just like this? That says something about you. Over and under compensation. Because of your last relationship, you had a more of a dominant man, but he was a little too dominant. So now in your mind state, you're going to pick somebody that you don't have to put up with that from. Okay, that's fine. But you can't ask that same guy why you're not being a stronger leader. You pick somebody that wouldn't be strong because you ain't want to have to deal with that again. Over and under compensation. What's the right thing to do? It's time to slow me down and start looking at what is it about me that's putting me in these situations. Not what's wrong with these niggas. What is it about me that keeps bringing me to these niggas? Because once you done posted, I'm tired of these fuck niggas, that's you. That's a you problem. Period. Don't matter how many you're talking about. If it's enough of them for you to post, that's a you problem. Because you shouldn't have that many fuck niggas in your world that you tired of them. After the first one, it shouldn't be no more. Maybe the second one. But if you get a third one, and a lot of times that be y'all third one this year. If you get 3 fuck niggas in 1 year, you are the problem. That doesn't mean they're not doing shit wrong, but what is it about you that keeps attracting them? Over and under compensation. We're not fixing the problems from our last situation and learning from them. We're blaming the last person and not changing anything about us. Because if the last thing was everybody else's fault, I don't got to change nothing. But if I do change, I'm going to change for the worse. Because what I'm going to say is, I was too nice. I'm going to start treating these niggas. How could that possibly be the solution to what you really want? What you really want is the right man to accommodate whatever you own. Once you deduct, I'm going to start treating these niggas, there's no way in hell you're going to ever get the right man. So this is all a thing where you are participating in a societal experiment and you haven't identified your role in it. So this is why you can't see what's going on. You really think the world is just full of fuck niggas, and you really think all 6 of your baby daddies just ain't shit, which you shouldn't have 6 anyway, but whatever. This is the point where you have to understand, okay, we can't look around at society and I see females saying stuff like, these niggas just getting gay as hell. These men getting so soft. Here's my thing. If you as a woman, a heterosexual woman who actually likes men, and you're sitting around watching a society of men get weaker and weaker and more feminine to the point where you're starting to see men wear dresses. And what y'all deduct is, I'm going to go on social media and complain about it. I'm not going to spend any time and put any effort in trying to figure out what the hell is happening to the men. How is this? I see, you know who I see complaining about all the homosexuals? Men. Women ain't got shit to say. Women ain't got shit to say about all the men becoming transgender. Women ain't, y'all hang out with the homosexuals. See, there's some things going on here. We're wired wrong. The homosexuals, and this is crazy. You got all the smoke on the planet for white women. They taking our men. These niggas always running to these white bitches. Right? You got all the smoke for white women, but you'll hang with the gay guy. He wants your man more than the white woman do. You got all the smoke for any woman that dare look at your man, but you'll hang out with the boy that wants him. Something's not right. If you just think about it, why doesn't the gay guy bother you? He likes black men just as much as white girls do. Why doesn't he bother you? Matter of fact, you'll go to the mall and hang out with him and talk about penises. Because the psychology behind that is this right here. When you put the black woman with the homosexual man and they become friends, she's the dominant force in that relationship. So it sets the pattern for her to slowly become more and more masculine within her femininity. And this has been a setup ever since the women's liberation co-opted with the sisters, and some of the sisters for the Panthers started getting into that, and it was a setup. This women's liberation, black women didn't need to be liberated from the black man. She already ran the dynamics of shit. Liberated from what? We was oppressed together. What the fuck you need liberation for? The white woman was the one who couldn't get shit from her white man. The white man gave his slaves the right to vote before her. The white man impregnated his slaves before her. She needed liberation, not you. But they pitched it and you fell for it. And then you got on that bicycle and you start riding it. Women's liberation leads to lesbianism. Because what else are you going to do if you got problems with the men and you hang with a bunch of women? The same thing the boys do who complain about the females. Over and under compensation, it's going to happen. So as long as you can get the black woman to hang with the homosexual, then you can understand that she'll accept her son being one. You didn't see that one coming, did you? As long as she's willing to hang with him and feels non-threatened by him, then she's okay with her son becoming one. Which means all of these single parent households with young black males, we can turn out tons of homosexual behavior because we have made the black woman the homosexual's best friend. So now he gets to come in the house, hang out, and do all his feminine stuff in front of the little 6-year-old boy. And a lot of those homosexuals be funny as hell. So your mama stay laughing at the little gay dude, and your son is watching how much your mother enjoy his company. So guess who he wants to be like now? And then y'all say stupid shit like, I knew ever since my son was 7, he was going. That's because you've been having that gay dude in your house since he was 5. And your son been watching him. Nayamo Nima. So now, over and undercompensation. Now, like I said, and we got I didn't even play half of the stuff I got. We're gonna really get into this on Clubhouse. Now you got let's go back to the example I left with the fat guy. If two guys is gonna sit on a park bench together and one of them is extraordinarily fat, once the fat dude will sit down first, the only thing the skinny dude can do is take whatever space is available. This is the same thing as natural selection. As the male species, because keep in mind, every race has a masculine and feminine aspect. So white people, a masculine, feminine aspect. Melanated people, masculine, feminine aspect. So it is probably common sense that in the design of what God had created, the black man and the black woman kind of came here together. So it's a combo thing. Doesn't mean you can't do whatever the fuck you want, but it's a combo through the beginning. So now what I'm saying is this is something that they have to figure out. And if the man at any point who's supposed to be leading begins to lose his masculinity and his leadership edge, the two will either perish or the woman will have to pick up where he is deficient at. So the more feminine the man becomes, the woman will have to become masculine to make up for the missing masculinity. It's common sense. It's science. So at the point where you see a world with men, women are watching. These are the same men that been talking that tough guy shit to these women. Now women are watching these men put on dresses. Now keep in mind, ain't nobody saying nothing, but women ain't no damn fool. They understand. Now the simple-minded ones will say it's just fashion. But we're all paying attention and we understand. A man who was Billy Badass with a gun last month doesn't just on his own validity decide, hey, I'm gonna rock a dress permanently now. Something has to happen. And without us saying it, we all understand. In order for a man to decide to start wearing dresses, somewhere along the line, his masculinity has been cracked or violated. We don't got to say it, we understand it. So now, even the sisters who haven't outwardly acknowledged it, subconsciously, y'all understand, if men are wearing dresses, they are not the same men, and they're probably not having the same interest for us. So this is a retaliatory move to say, fuck these niggas nasty. Because if you didn't care, you wouldn't even bring it up. If you was content with the level of where men was at and you had no problem, like, well, these men just weird, it is what it is, you wouldn't even speak about it. The fact that you keep posting about it, you keep making songs about it, you keep making videos about it, you keep making lives about it, that means it matters that you've lost your men to whatever this thing is here. But because of nature, the queen will overcompensate and she will naturally become more masculine. So the men get on dresses and the women rocking Jordans. You see how that flipped? And now you liable to see the queen in a sweatsuit and some Jordans, and your boy got on a dress and a man bag. Wait, what just happened? The queen got on some Jordans and a hoodie, some sweatpants, and he got on a dress with a man bag and some Ugg boots. And nobody's saying nothing. Why are women not erratic and demanding answers? You want to make a song about everything else? Make a song about these men in dresses. How come not one female has rapped about the fact that these men wearing dresses? Just think about it. They all talk about these niggas, woo, niggas can only do this from a. Not one female has said anything regarding the fact that these men like penis more and they rocking dresses. How come? You can't tell me they don't see it. And if it doesn't bother you, why? See, when you start reaching a space where the questions get like this, that's when you know this is a thing. It's not normal. It's a thing that just happened, and we missed it. Because the men are quickly saying, y'all too masculine. The one. How are we in this space? Because this is what we said in the beginning. What is the Matrix? It's an illusionary existence. It's not real. What is the matriarchy? Matriarchy is when women are the primary dominant sex in all aspects. Manipulation. We know somebody's lying and stacking the deck. So they're showing us a matriarchy. Men run everything, but all of the action movies now is going to women stars. Everything is highlighting aggressive women. That's the new thing in America that's being highlighted. Women shaving their hair bald, and all the women are getting more masculine, and the men are getting more feminine. Somebody did this. Somebody did this. And so then you have to ask yourself, for what purpose? Who benefits from making the men women and the women men? And why? Why is everybody okay with the transition? That's the biggest question. Okay, we can see it happening. And a lot of us don't like it. But why isn't everybody just why as a society haven't we just hit the brakes like, no, we ain't doing that? Instead, we say, hey, man, people live how they want to. Instead, we say, yeah, that shit gay as hell, but that's on him. Instead, we say, shit, that ain't my kid. Y'all better get these. Why are we going along with it? Over and under compensation. You're going along with it because you don't even understand. You've been systematically rewired for this form of abuse. You've been systematically rewired for this form of abuse. See, look at how over the years, everything that we used to say we didn't like about white people, you see us displaying. It ain't a behavior that white people got. Not one of those sick ass behaviors that we've been complaining about for hundreds of years. It's not one of them that we haven't adapted and mastered. And somehow we still think it's us pulling the strings. Man, You don't never come up in here to the show. I told you hit me tomorrow, bro. I be forgetting. Just hit me tomorrow during the daytime. I'll come up there. I don't be doing shit. I be forgetting, bro. Hit me tomorrow and I'll come up there. And I told you, pick a topic. We can get it in too. I need some practice. But yeah, hit me on hit me tomorrow. Kareem, hit me tomorrow, bro. And hit me tomorrow and I'll come when y'all up there. I want to come when y'all up there getting it in, man, because I don't know what time y'all do whatever y'all do. But hit me tomorrow and I'll come up there while y'all up there getting it in. Don't y'all do the Wednesday thing tomorrow, Wednesday? Cause I show the brothers every week. Or y'all gotta remind me. Somebody remind me tomorrow, man. Somebody inbox me. If Kareem don't, he probably won't. Somebody inbox me and just say, General, don't forget about fan base. So I can tap in and y'all just got a CMB page, or how you get to it, how you navigate it. I don't know nothing about it. Either way it go. Okay, thank you, Queen. So either way it go, we have to let's do this. I still got I still got more stuff. We just got the politic, and I kind of held back tonight because I was late, so I know I missed because we just had 4 new subscribers tonight, and I was late, so we probably missed them because I initially said 6 o'clock. But I got a thing that said 4 people subscribed, and it was all from the same person because I talked to them on Facebook. So I kind of screwed that up, but it'll be up here, so hopefully they get to see it. But we're going to we finna go to Clubhouse and do what we do. You can pop over there, Kareem, man. Pop over there and come politic with us, or hit me tomorrow for fan base or something, whatever. I definitely want to come up there though. Where's let me see. So that's what we doing. Y'all know me. It's smoothie time, baby. I'm about to go make me a smoothie, and then I will meet y'all on Clubhouse. Knowledge is the only real power, and information is the only real currency. But the application of both is the route to divinity. I love y'all. I'm gone.